Was Michael Jordan on that team great? Yeah, he was great, but he wasn't the man. So he was Scottie Pippen that night. So how the hell is Scottie Pippen in the conversation for the best player ever? When you got these Michael Jordan lovers like Skip Bayless of the world, Skip Bayless and the rest of you guys who just love Michael Jordan, it's cool to love him, but at the end of the day, let's be honest. In order to be at the top, you have to lead. Shout out to Bill Walton for coming out and saying, miss me with that nonsense. Now, Bill Walton is also one of the guys who's in the competition for greatest player ever. He is clearly one of the greatest players ever. This is the dude who lost 2 basketball games in his college career. He won 3 national championships in his college career. One of the greatest college basketball players ever. He played college so well, they tricked y'all into believing he was one of the 50 greatest. That's a conversation that we should have as well. One of these weeks, I'm going to do a show on the 50 greatest, revisit it, and I'm taking Bill Walton's ass off because he doesn't deserve to be in one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. But guess what? He's one of the 5 greatest NCAA players ever, or maybe 5, 10, depending on what you're looking at. He even came out and said, as Shannon Sharp said yesterday, when you are talking about the greatest college basketball player ever, you start at Kareem and you work your way down. Just like when you talk about the greatest basketball players ever in NBA history, you start at Kareem and Michael Jordan, and then everybody else get in where they fit. I'm just saying, man. Anytime you walk in the door, and they didn't let freshmen play when Kareem got to college. When you walk in the door of a national championship team, and you and your freshman squad who's not supposed to be able to play, they're on the junior varsity team, and you beat the national champions from the year before, and then you go on to only lose 2 games in your college career, and one of them because you had a scratched eyeball and was literally playing with an eye patch. Anytime they changed the rules to make the game more difficult, you dominated to the point where they said, yo, bro, nobody can dunk anymore because this dude is kicking ass too much. He's kicking ass like this. He's too dominant. What we're going to do is stop you from dunking the basketball. And you forced him into developing one of the most unstoppable shots in the history of basketball. When you have a guy who's doing that, then and only then can you outdo that. Look, Wilt Chamberlain said it best. Mike, you'll never be as great as me because when I play basketball, they do everything to make it more difficult. When you play, they made it easier for you. Does that take away from Michael Jordan's greatness? Hell no. Michael Jordan will still be arguably the greatest basketball player a lot of us will ever see or have ever seen. But you start talking about college, you're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, and Bill Russell, just to start the whole conversation off. Now, when you're just talking about winning, you got Christian Laettner, you got Larry Johnson, Grant Hill, Danny Manning. There are far too many people in the conversation before you get to Michael Jordan. The guys that I named led their teams to 1 or 2 Final Fours alone and 1 or 2 national champions. Then Michael Jordan's personal hero, David Thompson, the Skywalker, who took down the great Bill Walton in the game, and nobody saw that coming. The Skywalker, one of his greatest attributes to the game was dunking. They told him he couldn't dunk. Michael Jordan himself worshipped the ground this dude walked on, and he couldn't dunk, and he took over the game. But y'all telling me Mike better than him. How can you be better than somebody that you didn't do what was equal to them? We love Mike, man. I get it. I believe I could fly, the sneakers, the tongue, the whole get down. The walk, you had the great Kobe Bryant pretending to be Michael Jordan for a small period of time. So I get it. But when you start ignoring the facts and putting this dude into rare air, I'm sorry, you can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. At the end of the day, man, y'all may totally disagree with this, but since you guys tell me that championships mean everything, Michael Jordan didn't have a better career than Ed O'Bannon, because Ed O'Bannon led his team to the national championship. That's what I'm talking about. If we're gonna look at it that way, I mean, Michael Jordan was dope, second to none, but it's not gonna happen, man. Move around that nonsense. I'm not going for it. You can go for it if you like. If you want to go along with that, if you want the empirical data that proves that he wasn't, to your boy, at HRap_B on Instagram and on Twitter, and I'm on there frequently arguing, fussing, and cussing with anybody who comes in my direction. But keep it real, he's not in the conversation. Love him as much as you like. Be his man as much as you like. Buy the sneakers, man. Buy 2 pairs of sneakers. Cop 2, keep 1 wrapped in plastic. Do what you gotta do. But when you start talking about Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever, it's not possible. I'm not college basketball. It's not even in the conversation. And look, Mike is great. He will always be great. Nobody can ever question his greatness. When you talk about college, misuse that nonsense. And I'm not even gonna talk about it. With that being said, what I want to do is go into a little college sports. College athletics is up in the air right now. What they've gone and done is the NCAA has told us, hey man, we are going to figure out a way to get paid. See, this is why I consistently tell people, you guys are telling people to take less money for the championship. The kids getting books and room and board, food is enough. Why everybody else get fat? Why don't they want to play? First of all, I don't want them to play football games in empty stadiums because if it's too dangerous to have people in the stands and watch them play football, it's too dangerous to have people slam up against each other and play football and get sweat, blood, and all other bodily fluids on each other for 3 hours. Look, it's not that serious. But you know why it's that serious? Because as I've been saying for the longest time, it's about the money. People only want to exploit you, only want to watch football when it's a money pay. The people in the suits only want to watch football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and hockey when it's some money to be made. That's why ESPN and other entities are pushing forward for this, because ESPN, they've already paid this money so these games to be on TV. They won't take those games on TV. They don't want a refund. They want the product so they can sell to commercials and they can sell to you, and then they make even more money. This is what's going on. They don't give a damn about these kids. And now all of a sudden they're saying the SEC, the ACC, and the SEC, since they're in hot spots and the virus is starting to dissipate in those areas, why don't we play? You know why you don't play? Because you're putting people's lives in jeopardy. You are point blank, period, and simply putting folks' lives in jeopardy. How many times must you say, if I can't go outside of going to the grocery store or going to work, why in the hell would you ask 18 through 22-year-old or 24-year-olds, depending on your red shirt situations, to go out and play a game? Because you're trying to exploit them. How about this? You pay them to go out there and they'll go. You pay them to go out there and go. Is it still enough? Is it enough to put your life in jeopardy? Because everything I see on TV is these young people's lives are in jeopardy. Your life is in jeopardy. Stay 6 feet away from somebody. Don't go see your loved ones unless you have to. The people that are outside of your house, avoid them. That's all you've been telling me, right? So if that's the case, why you want people to slam up against each other? See, this is insane. This shows you the lack of respect that they have for the participants, and it shows you the lack of respect for human life in general. Because how in the hell do you want these young men and young women to slam up against each other and play a game for your entertainment? Most of them, their kids not playing these games. Then you got these coaches coming out, look, Nick Saban trying to figure out a way to pimp the system so he can get ahead of it. I get it, man. You do what you naturally do. I would naturally be outside doing whatever I'm doing. I would be hanging out with the homies. We'd be smoking cigars. We'd be kicking it. We'd be laughing. We'd be drinking. But guess what? We FaceTime and laugh and drinking and smoking wherever we are. That's what we're doing. But it's a damn shame these people are talking about, everything in the world is about the kids. Remember, if you say anything that's out of line, the very first thing mainstream media and the rest of the world throw up in your face is it's about the kids. It's about the kids. It's about the kids. It's about the kids. Now, since everybody's money is starting to get cut short, that 50-foot boat that you bought last year is sitting in dock and you paying storage fees for it and you can't enjoy it, now it ain't about the kids, it's about the money. Y'all want that TV money, y'all want those t-shirts, you want that t-shirt money, you want that beer money, that hot dog money and everything else that goes along. But I get you trying to get professionals to do it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But what about the kids? See, you're not willing to give these kids this money, those free books and that free education, unless you can pimp them out to the rest of the world. You even had coaches and athletic directors come out and say, no, that's not going to be worth it. We don't want it in an empty stadium. So now you're willing to put 100,000 people, between 75 and 100,000 people in one of these stadiums' lives in jeopardy as well. But nobody's talking about that. Mike Greenberg, we're gonna keep hope. We're gonna keep we're gonna keep hope, and it doesn't cost me anything to hope. Yes, it does. It could potentially cost somebody their life. Yeah, I understand that this thing is looking like it's starting to plateau. Less people are getting infected. But hell, how about this? When you look at those Power 5 conferences, most of those guys are from my community. And according to your records, this virus is hitting people in my community like 40 going north. So if it's hitting people in my community like 40 going north, and you're willing to take the chance on putting my young brothers out there just to play some football, because football is the cash cow that makes $100 million a year for these Power 5 conference schools. I remember about 10 years ago, they were saying the Big Ten Network is handing out $20 million checks each year. Y'all worried about that money, man. Y'all don't give a damn about these kids, so stop telling people about these kids. It's okay for you to put my son, niece, nephew, or daughter on TV to exploit them for basketball, but it's not all right for people like my man Prime out of Ohio State to sell that jacket, sell those pants that he got for playing in the bowl game to get his tattoo. With the hypocrisy of it all. But you care about the kids, right? See, this is the bullshit that they feed to us every day, and they try to convince us that, hey, we really give a damn. You don't give a damn about anything but yourself, National Association of College Athletics. You don't. Because if you didn't, if you gave a damn, you would sit on your hands and hope, like the rest of us. Do I want to watch basketball? Yeah, I want to watch basketball. I'm supposed to be watching NBA playoffs right now. This is supposed to be an NBA playoff show preview instead of a greatest playoff moments that I can remember situation. That's what I'm supposed to be talking about. Does it suck? Hell yeah, it sucks. But do I want anybody to put their lives in jeopardy to entertain my black ass? No, I do not. I don't ever have to watch sports again. I've watched enough sports in my lifetime that I could literally come on here every week and do a 2-hour show about just the sports that I've watched in the 49 years of my life. And we talking about really like 40 years of me actually knowing what the 35, 36 years of me knowing what the hell's going on. Seriously, I could literally do that. So in order to preserve life, I don't have to see it. I love watching sports. I love going to the barbershop with my man Twin, my man Kirby, arguing with my brother Big Anu, arguing with my little brother Ant, you know what I'm saying, Big Illinois. I love doing that. But I don't want any of these young people or any of these mega stars or anybody on earth to put their life in jeopardy to entertain. And if you're a sports fan and you're willing to watch these people, you're hoping that they hurry up and find something so these people can potentially put their lives in jeopardy just so you can be entertained. I don't know if I want to be around you because you'll do anything to be entertained. This is not a gladiator situation. This is not you put people in the middle of the Coliseum and have them fight while lions circle them so and the loser gets beat. This is not that, and you should not want that. You shouldn't want it. It's fun, man. Look, I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing without sports. I would be watching TV without sports and not talking about anything until Saturday when I do my own show. So I get it, man. Part of this network was created on the behest of sports, talking sports, arguing about sports. I get it. It's fun. It's engaging. I have a lot of fun doing it. But I don't want anybody to put their lives in danger any more than it is to get your neck broke on the football field, any more than it is to get your skull cracked on a baseball.